This is the part where I teach Ethan. For example, when Ethan has IT lessons, I sit in and I ask so many questions that sometimes we forget that Ethan is in the room. What can I say? I love to learn. Now, we have a rule. Whenever I teach Ethan, I tell him that he's got to teach it back to his 6-year-old brother. Because if you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, then you don't know it, right? But now, we have a problem. Because Ethan is an only child and we don't have a 6-year-old. However, no problem. You see, Ethan and I, we can do impersonations and we can do voices. We are from the land of Trevor Noah, the greatest impersonator of all times. So I can do the Trump voice, but Ethan can do the Trump voice so much better than me. So let me tell you how the Trump voice sounds. We're going to build a wall. It's going to be a big, big wall. Mexico is going to pay for the wall. So what happened since my first term? Sleepy Joe. He came in, he didn't build a wall, he built a fence. A big, big fence. And the problem is, the American chickens, they stuck behind that fence in Mexico. But we got the CIA, we got the FBI, they're all working on it. We're going to bring back our fence, our chickens into America. We're going to make America chickenless again. So, I'm going to be Ethan's imaginary 6-year-old brother called Tommy. Let me give you an example of how Tommy sounds. Ethan, what's transport? And what do we do with transport? But here's a big risk here, because Tanya hates Tommy, doesn't she, Ethan?
Hey Dad, you better be quiet, because if Mom hears you gonna be saying the Tommy voice, she said she's gonna send you back to the cuckoo house. You know Mom hates the Tommy voice.
Yes, Ethan, I know. Even though Tommy is imaginary and she's his imaginary mother, she absolutely hates him. Anyway, let's be very quiet. Ethan, can you do the Trump voice for us? You do it so well.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Look, everybody's talking about it. They say, Mr. Trump, how did you do it? And I tell them, it's simple. We have the best economy, the biggest rallies, the strongest borders, huge crowds, folks. They don't want you to know that, but it's true. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. And now, it's a total disaster. But don't worry, we're gonna fix it. We're gonna win so much that you're gonna get tired of winning. And you don't hold the cards, I hold the cards. I run the country and I rule the world.
So, today I'm going to tell you about tariffs, and then I'm going to leave and you have to teach Tommy. Is that okay?
Yes. Okay.
So, a tariff is a tax that Donald Trump places on the rest of the world and the rest of the countries. Technically, it's not something that the consumer pays. It's paid by the companies and then they increase their prices, so the consumer ends up paying it. For example, he put a 245% tariff on China, and it's a bit silly because China makes everything which the US buys. So, if you look at it, and if the whole world is a big happy family, then the US just buys things, while the rest of the world makes things.
You mean like Mom, who buys from Shein and Takealot and Temu and Checkers and Pick and Pay and Edgar's and Wards and Superbalist?
Exactly, just like that. Like all the boxes that comes in and that's now sitting in the garage. So why is that so bad? Because if America stops buying, then the rest of the world won't have jobs and they won't be able to make things. They used to say that if America sneezes, the rest of the world catches a cold. In this case, America is not just sneezing. It's like they got COVID and that they are in hospital. Do you remember what Chris Rock said, Ethan?
He said that Donald Trump had COVID. Well, my heart goes out to COVID.
The other thing that Trump is doing, well, the other things, is that he's kicking people out of the country. He's stopping funding to universities, he's challenging the courts, he's cutting international aids, is cutting federal jobs using Doge. So the world is now a changed place, and you and Tommy need to be ready to live in the new world. Anyway, I now need to leave because I have a meeting. Do you understand what a tariff is, Ethan?
Yes, absolutely.
Now, you gonna teach Tommy, right?
Yes, sure.
Now, let me warn you, Ethan. Tommy may only be 6 years old, but since we bought him that iPad to play games and watch Barney, he's been watching Fox News and CNN a lot. So, he might know a lot about world news and tariffs than you. Good luck teaching Tommy, Ethan. I have to go. I'll see you later. Okay, off. Ethan, Dad said you're gonna teach me all about tariffs and what they mean.
Yes, Tommy, let's do this.
Okay, I'm gonna bring my coloring book and my pencil and my iPad because Dad said I must make some notes.
Okay, Tommy. So, a tariff is a tax that Trump puts on companies, which that gets passed on to customers.
Ethan, what's a tariff and what's a tax and what's a consumerism?
Okay, a Trump is the most powerful person in the universe.
You mean like the Spider-Man?
No, not like Spider-Man. It's more like the Hulk.
You mean that he's green?
Well, no, he's not green. He's more like orange.
So, Ethan, if the Trump takes over the green land, then will it call it the orange land?
Maybe.
Dad said you must use every letter of every word to make something like a pneumonia and an acorn.
Okay, Tommy, it's not a pneumonia. It's a pneumonia. So let me tell you what a tariff is. It's a terrible thing on the American people that's really idiotic and freaking foolish.
So what is it? I'm gonna tell Dad, Ethan, that you used a bad word. You said freaking. Dad said if you use that word with a F, he's gonna put a green chilies in your mouth.
You don't know anything, Tommy. Shut up. You're fake news, okay?
Ethan, you sound like the Trump. So who's the Elon Musk?
Elon Musk is from Africa, and Mom said that if he is from Africa, then some village somewhere in Africa is missing an idiot. He actually formed a company called Tesla, which means truly extraordinary, stupid lies told to the American people. He actually promised them that they could have self-driving cars. Apple also tried the same for 10 years. That costed $10 billion, and now they canned it. On top of that, he promised the Americans that he would take them to Mars, and they already paid for the tickets.
But Ethan, why don't they just take the money and feed the poor people in our world?
Good question, Tommy, good question.
And Ethan, what is dog E?
What do you mean, Tog E?
I saw on Fox News that Elon Musk is running dog E.
It's not Dog E, it's Doge. It means the Department of Government Efficiency, which means that Elon Musk is going to cut government jobs in America like how a woodcutter cuts wood.
Elon, who's the Trump's wife?
It's Melania Trump.
I like Melania Trump, but why doesn't she like to hold the Trump's hand?
I don't know, maybe she has COVID.
Ethan, who's the J.D. Vance?
He's supposed to be a nice guy, like the one that the Hulk is before he gets angry and becomes the Hulk. But
I heard that the Trump was going to throw the J.D. Vance under a bus.
yes, that's true because Trump is going to blame him for the tariffs because he is now in charge of seeing if tariffs are good or bad for Americans. Trump already knows it's very bad.
Ethan, how did the Trump get the tariffs on every island and every country?
They used a complicated formula.
What's a formula? Is it like the Formula One? I like Formula One.
No, it's math.
You mean like 2 plus 3? My mom said 2 plus 3 is 5.
Yes, just like that.
I heard that the formula even put tariffs on places where there are only penguins.
Yes, you're right.
I also told Dad that Trump said that 60 countries are coming to America to kiss his ass.
So what did Dad say about that?
Dad said that 60 countries are coming to America, but not to kiss the Trump's ass. Dad said they are going to do something else with his ass.
They are going to be carrying big sticks. So I wonder what they are going to do with those big sticks.
Ethan, what do you think is going to happen with the world? Dad said it's like economic World War III because the Trump is not playing nice in the playground anymore. Is he like a bully? I don't like bullies.
Well, Tommy, it now depends on who is going to phone who first. Because Trump is waiting for China to phone him first. And China said he must phone them first. So it depends on whether the Huawei phone or the Apple phone will ring first. I hope the battery is not dead on the iPhone. So Tommy, our time is up and I have taught you everything about tariffs. Do you understand? Because Dad said if you don't understand, I'm gonna get a good hiding.
Ethan, I'm going to tell Dad.
What are you going to tell Dad?
I'm going to tell Dad that you don't know what a tariff is.
You think you know everything.
I know everything, Ethan, because I watch the Fox News all the time on my iPad.
So why are you asking me?
I'm asking you because I just want to see if you know anything and you know nothing. So get ready for a good hiding from Dad. I think I heard Mom. Oh no. She doesn't.
What did I hear? Did I hear the Tommy voice?
No.
It wasn't a
What are
Tommy
you
voice.
doing? Are you
Wait,
doing
no,
the Tommy voice?
No, we're not doing Mom.
When it comes to the tariffs, I've got a great plan. You remember? Michael Jackson made break dance. World famous. I, Donald Trump, am gonna do the break dance. I'm gonna walk it back. I'm gonna do the back walk on the tariffs.